Hope you got more batteries. 35%.
So on today's episode of Test Your Relationship, I'm bringing my fiance tiling. Now it's Christmas Eve here. We've got one and a half more runs to do, and we're done with the project. Molly has volunteered.
Voluntold. I've been voluntold.
To come help me this morning. So we're gonna put in a couple of 4-inch runs. Farm has, I think that's where the old railroad was, but it's kind of got an area right here that struggles a little bit yield wise every year. And we've talked about pattern tiling it a couple of times. To kind of experiment, I'm gonna run a 4 kind of up that way, and then I'll probably split off and run another piece of 4 up that way. That way if the yield monitor shows, or I can fly my drone during the spring and the summer, see if the crop's responding to that tile, then we would know that if we invested into this, like a drainage system into here, and it fixes that problem, that'd be a really good deal. If it doesn't, and the yield drag is because there was something here at one point in time from the railroads, then it's good money spent that way too. So Molly's gonna learn all about everything today.
Oh, yay.
Well, first thing, my lady, was we're gonna set up the laser so that we can dig a start hole. And since it's gonna be a plitty.
A what? You're just making up words now?
But since it's a pretty short or flat start hole, I can't like just eyeball slope. So what this will do, this laser will put out a beam that's 100% flat. So now it's spinning. Okay. So then we're going to take this, and I'll show you how to run this. This one's your first job.
Oh God.
This here is the receiver. It senses the laser. So see how it's beeping? Tells me to go down. Then I get to solid beep. So solid beep, and then I look right here, and it says 5.3, 5.3, which is not 5.3, 5 foot 3 inches. It's 5 foot and 3/10 of a foot.
Okay.
So when you're doing any type of grade work, you work in tenths, not inches.
Okay.
So for instance, so right here's 5.3. And now I come up here and I've gone uphill a little bit, right? So now it's going to be lower. So, which is exactly the opposite of what you would think. So now there's the bar, and it's 5.05, 5 foot and a half a tenth. So that means that I have 2.5 tenths in between that spot and here that I've gone up in elevation. A tenth is 1.2 inches. So that's 2.5 inches that I'm up higher here than I am down there. So when we go to dig this start hole, we're going to have the exit point where the water will exit, and I need to dig back far enough that my pipe is deep enough that it's protected for farming above. And to do that, I got to work with, so right, if I was to dig a flat spot from there to there, the trench would be 2.5 tenths deep. Does that make sense?
Absolutely not.
It's okay. So what we're going to want to do is go to our exit spot. We'll take this receiver. We'll get a grade. And don't worry. It's like, it took me, like when I started doing dirt work with my dad, like I would do dirt work and then he would show up and be like, that doesn't work because you're going to hold water there, there, and there. And I couldn't see it, like be able to look at the ground. So it took me a long time to be able to look at like ground and say, this is where the water's gonna try and run. So if it might just look like it's dirt to you, but it's, so don't feel like you're gonna have to.
It's just dirt. Are you in the way?
Nope, you're doing fine. So we're at 7.65 is what we're at. 7.65. 7.6, 7.65 right here. We're 5.05. As long as this doesn't go up, as I dig this way, we're good. If it stays the same or goes down a little bit, we're good. We just don't want it to go up. Okay, that's good. My bucket might be in your way. Up a little. Lights on? All right.
This battery's about to die. That's no bueno. Like Ben said earlier, it is Christmas Eve, so it is December 24th. It's probably like maybe 50 degrees out. It's 54. He's on a time limit today. Wanted to do a tile run. He keeps saying a tile run and a half, but we all know that's not gonna happen. Something will go wrong or something where we won't be able to get out of here on time. And we'll be late to Christmas because Ben just had to work on Christmas Eve. Can't let that tractor sit for a minute. Anyway, I hope everybody has a wonderful Christmas. I don't know when Ben's planning on releasing this video, but I hope everybody has a wonderful Christmas and a happy new year. Ben's birthday is on January 3rd. It's his 30th birthday, so make sure you give him a shout out on January 3rd on YouTube or on Instagram. Yeah, he's turning 30 on the 30th, or on the 3rd, sorry. 30th birthday on January 3rd. So make sure you give him a shout out. Happy birthday, baby, I love you. Oh, I think we're moving now. Look at him go. Oh, yeah, that truck. Get a little closer, why don't ya? Yeah.
Have you told YouTube what the temperature is right now?
Yeah, I did.
60, is it 60 yet?
It's 54.
54. Okay, so what I gotta do here is make sure, so my base station surveys to give me the correction that I need.
Yeah.
So once it's surveyed, so we're not ready yet. See how it's still yellow? If you look out here, you can see how like there's areas that it doesn't look like there's a lot of corn stalks and stuff.
Yeah.
You can see a lot more dirt. It was too wet for the crop to grow when it got planted there, or we got it rain afterwards and it made it hard on the crop. Goal is to see if the drainage would fix this area, and if you fix like one bad spot, that if you fix it, it can have like a chain reaction where it fixes the other stuff. Say you had like a bad toe, which then made you walk funny, which then made your hip hurt, you know. So but if you fix your bad toe, it then makes you walk regular and then your hip doesn't hurt. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, I don't really know another way of like equating that. So what we're gonna try and do is see if we can fix a couple of bad spots, run up a couple of really wet runs, one up towards the front and then maybe one back up that way if we have enough pipe to do that. But now we're good to go here. So what we'll do, so we'll back up to the start hole, kind of close to it anyways. Now we'll start the survey. So now I'm going to drive. I'm going to try and get into this wet spot, but I've got to make it a good run, I've got to be constantly either flat or going uphill. So if I go into a place where I start going downhill, that causes me issues. So where I might have to put the pipe deeper than I'd want it to be. So kind of when we were driving over here, I was watching my elevation. So I kind of know if I can find the tracks that I came down, which are these right here. I'm going to try and snake it up here higher a little bit than where I had those tracks. So then we'll go this way. So see how we're going uphill still?
Yeah.
Yep. You can see, like, look at that. There's like no corn stalks right there.
Yeah.
Wet spots, really wet spots right there. Plus you can feel the ruts. And now we'll go, now we should be kind of flat. And then you can see how this area you see how that looks really good right there?
Yeah.
How it's drained. And then this area doesn't look so good where it's sat too wet. Do I think this one pipe's gonna fix this? No, but should it help this out tremendously? Yes.
Got enough pipe for this?
It's gonna be close. I'm gonna say that we probably
There ain't no way we have enough.
We'll just take it as far as the trailer lets us take it. So we'll stop it there. Boom. Out.
Way down?
Huh? No, just another. Right there will probably do it. Really good. So push on it a little bit for me. Yep.
Gonna use a whole roll?
Tape's cheap. Fixing stuff's a pain.
Are you ready for my question?
Oh boy, we got barely a bite of that one right there. We
Snuck her in, huh?
used all the marbles for that one.
I don't really know how to ask it, so sorry if it doesn't make sense. Okay, so you got 4-inch pipe coming up this way.
Yeah.
You got the one we just wide off is a 4-inch pipe.
Oh, about to wide off, yeah. Yep.
But then like it's gonna connect all right here and go down into another 4-inch pipe.
Well, yeah, well that's still, the 4-inch
Yeah.
pipe.
So it's 2 4-inch pipes going into a 4-inch pipe.
Yep.
This pipe doesn't need to be bigger?
No.
This pipe?
No.
Why?
So, there's a little scrap. Let me see this. Okay. So the answer to that, for instance, this lateral right here, we'll call it a lateral, and now once we make this connection here, we can call that a lateral too if we wanted to, which a lateral is kind of, if you think about like a river, like a tributary, or like a creek to a tributary to the river. So the river would be your main, and all the creeks and other tributaries are like the laterals that fall into the main way of distributing water. So this 4-inch pipe, because it's a lateral, most likely it won't run full of water unless your distance got like really long. We wouldn't fill this pipe up. We went like 140 feet with this one. This one's 600 and some odd feet. You won't fill it all the way up. And so you might say this is flat or just slightly. You might say that this pipe has a standard amount of water that it can move. So like it will only move so much per minute or something like that. Yeah, at like a 1% slope. Well, this same pipe here, if you went to like a 5% slope, will move more water in a given period of time than a pipe at a slower slope.
Okay.
So like once we get to the top of this hill here, it goes to a 1% grade. So it's just a minimum grade, water will flow. But once it gets over the crest of the hill, the slope probably goes to 4 to 5%. So it will move more water out faster as it goes this way. So there's why you can tie multiple slider sloped pipes into a greater slope pipe of the same size and it still move enough water away. 2 4-inch pipes into a 4 with a good amount of slope. We're not going to overfill this one. So that answer your question?
Yeah.
Otherwise, if you wanted to, you'd have to oversize your main. Usually has to be so big because it needs to move away a certain amount of water that the drainage field brings in.
Bringing into it. Yeah.
So, but a small drainage field.
But because this is sloped more drastically, it can move more water.
Correct.
Okay. So how much of this on this sidewall is topsoil? This is the good stuff.
About that.
Is that like 4 inches? 6 inches?
No, that's probably about 10 inches. And then this here, see how it turns kind of bluey?
Yeah.
Gets pretty hard for water to then penetrate. Yeah. That's why you want your pipes to be just deep enough.
Right at that level?
Yep. Like, realistically.
So it can go through the topsoil and it can go through
like
that layer of
realistically,
clay.
a great place for it to be, like, would be, which
right
this isn't possible
topsoil.
because we don't have enough coverage for the pipe.
Yeah.
Like, you could get into
it.
that and smush it. But like if the top of your pipe could be like right about that level right there, you're gonna have great drawdown. So most of the time our pipes are into this stuff here.
Yeah.
This is clay, you know, and it holds water. I mean, it's still wet and we're dry. It just doesn't let water go down. So like this won't draw down that much water right now because it doesn't have like if you look at this here, see how this is all break up? It'll like break up.
Yeah.
So like that has like wormholes in it. Like there's a wormhole. It has like structure to it and it crumbles. Where you pull a chunk of clay off, there's no structure to it. It doesn't crumble. It just packs.
It's like Play-Doh.
Yep. Yeah. So like if you feel this, it feels drier than like this is like modeling clay basically. Yeah. So that's also why when I do like tile pattern and stuff like that, that's why we're bringing the spacings closer together, because it won't. You wish that it draw down further. It makes your pattern tile a lot cheaper, but
it's not a perfect world.
No, because this pipe will probably draw down and it will help the entire area out, but it will probably only draw down 10 feet that way and 10 feet that way. That's about what it'll get.
Yeah.
So that's about what it'll get. Well, let's backfill this and go to Christmas.
All right, we are done pulling tile. Actually, it went pretty good. It was pretty quick. Let's see, we got here a little before 10 maybe, and it's now 1 o'clock, so it didn't really take that long. Now we gotta go get ready for Christmas. Ben, say Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. It'll be after Christmas by the time this video.
It don't matter. They know we're working on Christmas Eve. Say Merry, come here and say Merry Christmas to the camera. Say it.
What?
Say it.
Merry Christmas?
Yeah.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animals. Anyway, hope you guys had a great Christmas. Hope you have a wonderful New Year. And we'll see you on the next one. I don't have a hat to flick. Sorry. Yeah. Freaking spraying my wrist trying to open the dang door.
Number one rule about this base station is don't drive a vehicle anywhere near my base station. You hit my base station, we'll both be in the geriatric home and you not just working there before you get a Christmas present.
What the heck are you drinking?
Those Monsters. Monster Energy can send me like a case of these. These dang things are expensive, but I like them.
Oh, Lord.
Park us in the rent, why don't you?
Mercy. Does this button not work either? I swear, this truck is falling apart at the seams.
It didn't run it over, did it? Okay, you're gonna have to walk out there with it. You guys can watch this. This will be entertainment. You're good, my lady. Hey, I'm gonna toss you this.
I did not catch you. These are the downfalls of being farm wife, roped into coming to help your farm hubby on the farm. I have to pee now, and there is no toilet. Believe me, I'm not above squatting, but it's definitely a last resort type of deal for me. So it's not the same. I gotta pee.
That's right.
You were right. We had enough hiking.
What was that? I don't know.
Those words tattooed on your forehead. I hear them very often.
What was that? I don't know if the GoPro's audio picked that one up.